Human is the sort of animal that, in just a physiological, biological, evolutionary sense, distinct from other animals, that has experiences of pleasure. Seeing the cloud, cumulonimbus cloud, bright blue sky, crisp, clear cloud. But the object of the experience seems not to be physically, materially manifest. The cloud, yes, is physically manifest. And the eye, the pleasure that it's experiencing and its experience, that's physically manifest. It includes the physical. But that particular aspect, let's call it the aesthetic. I can't put it in words, right? But the aesthetic experience of the cloud, physiological, but the note of it that we're talking about aesthetic experience seems to be non-physical. Some members of the species are struck by that fact, have that experience, are struck by it, and then some of the animals wonder. You're walking around, have the experience, and then you're struck, and then you wonder, and then you follow that wonder down the rabbit hole. Is not just some quirk of the neurological, psychological system of this particular type of animal, but justified. Okay, we could have a discussion about that. If you want arguments, seem to me to be the sort of man who likes arguments. I have concluded, maybe wrongly, but at this point, the whole thing, the down the rabbit hole, the thinking through it all, figuring it out all in this particular or any really particular conceptual scheme doesn't pay off. It doesn't go to the real, to the truth.
The doorway to the other universe.
There's no it to explain, or there's an it, but it's inexplicable. An it, but it's inexplicable according to our terms. By our terms, explicable, well, we can never know that we know. Down the rabbit hole, which this particular human animal that is inclined to go down the rabbit hole, go down the rabbit hole.
Find the doorway to the other universe.
Lost in the imaginary there. Lost in the labyrinth of the imaginary there. Lost in the labyrinth of the imaginary there. Lost in the labyrinth of go down the rabbit hole. The imaginary there.
Coming full circle, returning back
The
to
imaginary there. Human is the sort of animal that,
nihilistic as it is, but so what is full circle, returning intellectual activities equally nihilistic.
go down the rabbit hole.
Returning to no end, not some ultimate end.
Lost in the labyrinth.
The words, the symbols, the ideas that we filter over as a template, the real, the veil of thought, verbal, conceptual, mental template that we lay over things with words that we connect together in certain ways, with certain meanings that we tie together with particular preferred arguments, and that's our account of the real. It's so dependent on the vocabulary we have, and our understanding of the vocabulary, and our knowledge of this or that, and the inferences, not just the inferences that one can make with this particular vocabulary, but the particular inferences one is inclined to make.
All these ideas we have about metaphysics.
So the contingency of the construction.
These are just us expressing our subjective preferences.
So the contingency of the construction of the template that we lay on reality. Behind that is just happeninglinessing.
All this now.
Happeninglinessing. We are that. We are in it. Not in it, but also thematizing, conceptualizing it, just doing it, which of course I'm not. I don't understand anything. Nihilistic implications for this. This probably isn't completely true either.
Veil of thought.
I don't understand anything. The multitude, perhaps infinity of other perspectives that simultaneous, depending on the infinity of other relations it is in, with the infinity of other notes.
Lost in the labyrinth of the imaginary there. Lost in the labyrinth of the imaginary there. Lost in the labyrinth.
And he says, I don't know what I believe, but I know I don't believe my thoughts.